Hi everyone, it's HeapCVA. Hope you're doing great. For me, it's late evening, or hope you're having a good day if the sun is out, wherever you're at. Welcome again to another episode of 911 Operator, and we're in 11.9, still in beta. And let's get into career real quick. We're going to reset and start. And I'll tell you the reason why I'm on this game right now. And in the last couple of days, in amongst the other things I've been working on that you guys have watched, you know, 911 first responder, the emerged NYC or emergency, take your pick. I thought I'd come over to this to kind of give myself a break from some of the other stuff I was doing. And it's pretty obvious to me that over time, in the last, I don't know, maybe 10 days, they are working on the game. There are small changes. They're not telling us what they are, but they're making them nonetheless. I just got done spending an hour and a half sending notes to the people that make this game, which their name is out of my head right this minute. The makers of 911 Operator. I separated each issue, whether it was a suggestion or a bug, to them. They have a, if you go to their Steam community, they actually have a link that opens up a page that you fill out and send it in. Are they listening? I think so, as best they can. I don't know how many people they have on staff to work on this game. But there's just some things that, as I was fooling around with this thing today, and it's been about 6 days since I played, 5 days since I played it last, totally caught me off guard. And I'm trying to get police to the point where at least they just don't have a shoving match when they go on an incident, because we start over again in Katbolei. I think that's how it's pronounced. Let's start and go ahead and start duty. We had the one discussion about the vehicles not being able to make it to certain calls. Yeah, that's still going on. One of the new ones for me is, wow, a whole bunch of people. We're going to need like 4 ambulances for that. And maybe we'll see it in this particular call. Doesn't always happen. Is you'll dispatch a police vehicle, and to me it's only happened with police. Is they'll go to a law enforcement call, and it could be anything, but usually it's an incident where, you know, there's going to be some shooting involved. And are we missing somebody? Oh, there it is right there. The law enforcement vehicle will just sit there, and they will not I think we can do that. They will not resolve the incident. And it doesn't matter if you send more units. They're not going to do anything. And unfortunately, what you have to do is ignore the call to move on and free up those units, which gives you negative reputation. And so you've got to eat that reputation, and you can't move forward in the game. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I'm having a hard time spitting it out. But it's just something that started happening recently. And here's a good one. How many people in a car does it take to drive somebody to the police station? But at least right now, these people are all showing up. And maybe an hour ago, because I've been doing those things, only the one person was showing up on the incident. And if you, like an ambulance has 3 personnel on it, you weren't getting credit for the other personnel. And I like seeing how many personnel are on a given vehicle, because it helps me decide if I need to add personnel or not. But to me, there wasn't 6 or 7 people looking for transportation to jail. There was one person that could be put in the back of a sedan. If that was a motorcycle, it would be different. But it's a sedan. Put them in the back of that ride and take them to jail. That's what happens in real life. Now, I know this is a game. I get that. But they want to claim, and this is interesting, all of a sudden we have law enforcement needed here. It just kind of puts a dent. I really hope. See, they're still showing that they need, and they're right here. And we are, that's the freeway, guys. And it's not not doing it. And so these issues are starting to pop up. I know they're doing some stuff. They're promising see, and then this one's not going to close because it's just off the road, just enough. Let me slow this down, take the call.
Where did the collision happen?
And I'm not going to even ask how. All right, well, that's. Let them. I got it kind of turned down. If you can't hear it, I'll bump it up when I make the video.
All right, sir. Please wait for the emergency services to arrive.
Okay, thank you.
So we'll send a.
Ready for the next case.
Now see, that one's messed up. They're going to get there. I'm used up all my ambulances waiting for this call. Now, before, there were a couple of times where I could wait and eventually they would resolve the incident. Is that happening this time? No. And so it is an issue that they just have to work on among the many that they want. I mean, this is one of those unusual games or titles that, it's going to be tough to make everybody happy anyway. But don't just set the game up for failure for some of the things that are happening here. Now, what I have noticed is that if they're writing a ticket, I haven't seen them fail to resolve the issue.
What are the orders? 10-4.
We got stuff going everywhere. But see, this is just gonna sit here. So we have at least,
What are the orders?
I don't know that we have a police car, so I'll go ahead and send one, knowing that I'm likely to be tying the ambulance or the police vehicle up,
We're ready. I copy. Going there.
which is, kind of backwards to what you're trying to do. And if the goal is to get to the next map, and you've got to ignore this incident, which I don't like doing. Yeah, he's coming. They will get there, I promise. It's not working to that goal. And maybe it is part of their game algorithm that you actually can't win everything. Okay. Not my idea of a good time, but okay. Another phone call.
Emergency.
Hello. There was a car collision.
Where did the collision happen?
Around.
When did it happen?
Just a moment ago.
Are any of the vehicles blocking traffic?
Yeah. Both of them are completely crashed.
Are there any injuries?
I got that backwards, but
One person is injured.
Do you know who caused the accident?
We're still arguing about that. Can you send the police to figure it out?
yes,
Can
we
you tell
are.
what kind of injuries they have?
One of the passengers says his stomach hurts really bad.
Okay, just make
So
sure
we'll
that
get this done. Sorry, I kind of zoned out there for a minute because of how annoying it is.
Okay. Thank you.
My problem is, and I'm probably not the best person to ask. Come on. Well, at least he resolved that one, for crying out loud. Is from being a dispatcher. It annoys me a little bit. We're down to 28 seconds.
What are the orders?
And
Going there.
we'll have to ignore this call to get out of the screen. We'll lose the 3 points, which in the grand scheme of things isn't huge. But if you're trying to find out what map is next, not going to happen.
We're ready.
As fast, because you're not getting credit for the incident. Now, I do appreciate that you actually are given a larger sum of money to purchase equipment. What I don't like, another thing, and I think I've said this once before, is that in every round, it strips the personnel of their equipment and you have to reissue everything. I don't know about you guys. I mean, some of you might not be in the United States.
Reporting. I copy. Going there.
When a police officer graduates from the academy, he has certain things he carries with them, to he or she, every day they come to work. And there's not a day, if they're in a patrol car, that they don't carry those things. They're the tools of their trade, if you will. And see, we're at 0-0. We have this incident here we've got to finish. There we go. Things are moving along. You shouldn't have to reissue that equipment every time unless there would be something extra you would want to issue them. Larger weaponry, shield, something special for a special incident.
Standing by.
I can get that, but
Affirmative.
just to put their sidearm on, which is, like I said, their first day on the job after the academy, it's on them. Shouldn't have to reissue it. And so it's one more thing I'm going to send the game people. I'm not always so believing in doing that, because I'm going to ignore this incident just to move on. I'm not as big on doing that because, see, this has changed quite a bit too. So you only lost one for ignoring. Maybe they dropped it down because they were having an issue. So let's go back. We got 34,000. But see, now we've stripped the personnel again. Pet peeve. I don't want to make it into a pet peeve, but you're the only people I got to talk to on this particular issue. So if we do this, and I appreciate this, but that should be their thing unless you decide to change it. I mean, I know you're only the operator, or where I come from, they're known as dispatchers. And, you don't get to make all of the decisions that are made for a given agency, but, when you're getting them on the road to deal with their what they're going to do, it would be nice if you knew that was going to happen every time, because that's one of those things that you just don't have to think about. And at least in my neck of the woods, we always talked about having some things on kind of automatic mentally, so that you didn't have to constantly think about them, and that allowed you to focus on the things that were super important. And so if you guys are checking this game out, if you've been testing out the beta, what issues are you having that maybe I didn't bring up? And let me know your thoughts on especially the things that have just happened in the last couple of seconds. Basically, it seems like.
Okay. Do you have a fire extinguisher?
No.
I don't know where. I'd like to know if this is being made in the United States or if it's made in another country.
Yourself and anyone else that's in the house.
I'd be very interested. Every country has their way of doing things. I can only speak for the U.S. And even then, see, now I'm right on the edge of the map. We'll have to wait and see if it gives me credit for it. Whether or how we make recommendations for people on the phone to deal with stuff until police or EMS or fire gets there. Okay, that was interesting. You weren't supposed to see my desktop, but it did it on its own. And, I know it's a beta game. You're going to have crashes. You're going to have these things. It's kind of like with Subnautica and the issues I'm having with that right now. I was fooling around with it last night because I've started a new game or a new save. And the first thing I did while building my little tube to live in the first 10 or 15 minutes is fall through all of the landscape and into the void, and I had to swim up back through it. It was the strangest thing. And of course I wasn't videoing when that occurred, so I didn't get to see it. So I'm kind of bummed about that, but it was what it was.
Hey, there was a robbery?
And
How long ago did this happen?
let me get this phone real quick.
Where did this happen?
Around...
Do you have any injuries?
Yes, my friend is injured.
Are your attackers still in the area?
I have no idea. They ran away somewhere.
What happened to your friend?
knocked him down. He's hurt and has
Yes, he
breathing
is. And we're
problems.
going to send you an ambulance,
Make sure he
too.
doesn't move until the ambulance arrives.
Sure.
Did they have any weapons?
Yeah, a gun.
All right, sir. We'll take care of
A
it.
pea shooter.
Wait for emergency services to arrive.
Yeah, I will.
No, I'm sorry. Anyway, let's see if things somewhat improve in this particular version. So that's up there. We're going to need an ambulance on that incident, which is fine. I have one. One of the other suggestions that I made, I did some suggestions too. I didn't just spend my time complaining and screaming about bugs.
What's your emergency?
Is I asked about,
Where did the
you
collision
know,
happen?
returning certain vehicles back to the station or giving you the opportunity to do that.
Are there any injuries?
No, no one.
When did it happen?
5 minutes ago.
Do you know who caused the accident?
I did.
Getting a button on here that you can tell the unit return to base, because these squares are a little small,
Services to arrive.
and so you know,
Thank you.
just thinking out of the box a little bit. Most of the time, when you're sending fire apparatus, you're sending them back to their fire station. We call return to quarters. Okay, somebody's just getting arrested, so that should get itself down. I figured out how to get rid of that flag. You gotta do, when you get on the thing, you gotta do it just exactly the right way, and it'll make it go away. So we got another thing over here. Fortunately, I got, they're available.
What are the orders? I copy. Going there.
911, what's your emergency?
But I mean, this is actually paying better than the hour ago. Maybe they got on it. Maybe it was just something
Hello? Anyone there?
that somebody could easily fix. Like I said, not knowing where this game's being made, I guess I'll have to go look. I thought I did,
If you can't talk, please press any digit on your phone.
to see if something's going on. You know,
Hello, sir. We got a 911
I like
call
this
from your
one.
phone. Do you have an emergency?
Take your phone out into the driveway and hit it with a hammer. That's what dispatchers probably want to say sometimes, but they keep their mouth shut because that's the way that's supposed to go. You can't do that. You get yourself in a lot of trouble doing stuff like that.
Line for more important calls.
Although they kind of go a little off the course there, but I don't know. Every dispatch agency might do it a little differently.
What are the orders?
All right, we got a speeder, so we'll go snag them real quick. We've still got 4 minutes left in this particular.
Case solved.
We need a fire truck.
I copy. Going there.
They didn't ask for that police officer to go there. So what is their deal? They need more personnel. We'll see. Let me find out who's who in the zoo. We're not going to get anything done. Ah, jeez. All right, that's what I was looking for right there.
We're ready. Roger that. Reporting. Affirmative.
Get them going. Okay. That should be just about. Anyway, these flags, you can get it to stick, but if you go back over it and then go up, I've figured out that it will stop picking it up.
Affirmative.
So, how are we doing here? I think I'm covering all the bases. I thought I had,
What are the orders? I copy.
I thought I had a police car going to the incident, but maybe I didn't.
Standing by.
One thing I don't do enough is to re-status vehicles
We're ready.
that
Copy. Going there.
are further away
What are the
instead of just letting the initial
way to hospital?
unit that you dispatch take the
911,
call.
what's your emergency?
There we go again. You can hear a baby hollering in the background too. You might not be able to hear it, but
Hello?
I
Is
can.
anyone there?
I haven't had a few of those
If you can't talk,
in my
please press
career,
any digit on your
not very many. And when A&I came online for 911 and we got their address, seeing the end of the call this time. That allowed us to send somebody directly to the okay. And then this one, Speeder, I'm going to send him there because we got something going on, but we didn't get a thing. Anyway, we could send a police officer to go check. And man, did it cut down on the amount of oopsie 911 calls, especially where people would leave their phones. This is really not as prevalent, believe it or not.
Are there any injuries?
Now with cell phones as it was when it was just phones and kids fooling around. And you know, it is going to happen with little kids. We just take it as one of those things. It's no big deal. I was trying to figure out what I was going to say. Don't get mad at me.
Do you know who caused the accident?
I did.
Shame on you.
Can you tell what kind of injuries they have?
One of the passengers says his stomach hurts really bad.
Okay, just make sure they don't move.
You
until the
just
ambulance arrives.
go deal with it.
All right,
You
sir,
know, and
please wait
most
for
of the time
emergency
it's,
services to arrive.
you know, it's just like in my line of work is I'm responding to fires where the youngster was playing with matches, kind of thing. You're not there to beat him, that's for sure. All you want to do is say, hey, you know, don't do that. It's not a good idea. You know, some parents want the tough love. It's not my kid. You know, it's, I saw empty call. Okay, what does that exactly mean? Okay, well, I guess we're going to write, see, the pictures are a little goofy, but notice how that she's carrying 2 vests. That's not what they're issued, but okay. All right, well, we're going to that one. That's good. Wait a minute.
911,
We got a phone call in 56.
Hello? Been a car crash?
There's always a car crash.
Are there any injuries?
Yeah, 2 people with some injuries.
There. I don't know why I look at that word and all of a sudden my brain kind
When
of...
did it happen?
Just a moment ago.
Are any of the vehicles blocking traffic?
Yeah, but completely destroyed.
Do you know who caused the accident?
Always logged. About if you send the police to figure out.
That's what we're going to
All
do.
right, sir. Please wait for the emergency services to arrive.
You got it.
Thank you.
Okay, that gets that one closed out. How are we doing up here? Okay, they're writing them a love note or something.
10-4.
We'll go there. Another...
We are ready. Affirmative. We are ready.
I don't know who's going where, so...
Order. I copy. Going there.
And didn't I not see? That's what I did see.
I copy. Going there.
The request for fire apparatus. One of the things I wish was earlier in the game is equipment for fire.
Ready. Affirmative.
It doesn't look like in this particular map that anybody gets
What are the orders? Going there.
any
We're ready.
equipment on the fire apparatus. And that surprised me, to be honest with you.
Case solved.
Okay, we're done here. That's all good.
What are the orders? Affirmative.
All right, we got what looks like it's going to be a couple of ambulances for that.
We're under fire. I copy. Going there.
Who's under fire?
We're ready. Roger that.
Well, we'll go that way and see how that works. We're at 0-0. This is the first time I haven't had to cancel a call because I couldn't get to it. I wonder how many people are. There's quite a few. So that's good. We should have enough. So that one's done. We get this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to overwhelm them with police and ambulances and see if we can close the incident a little faster. See, we got that one closed down. That's nice. I can only guess that when the ambulances sit tight and don't go back to wherever, or like I said out here in the cane fields in Hawaii, that it was an incident that didn't require transportation, and so they're just sitting there. Now, where I live, you never know where the ambulances are going to park, because they basically have an area that they're covering, and they don't have a usual single place to go. And so I get it in that case. It's like we're gonna. Oh, did we? No, we didn't. All right, so now it's just law enforcement. Nope, still need another ambulance. Oh, we got it. So we got. I don't. How did we not resolve a case? 2 cases. See, that's that empty call. Oh, well, that's another one. I don't think I'm going to send them a nasty gram for that. But we went up to 50,000. So that being said, let's stop right here. You guys looked out. You got footage of this thing actually doing what it's supposed to do versus what I've been dealing with for a couple hours this evening. I did send some stuff, some notes to the company that makes the game. That's all good. And with any luck, they'll continue to work on it and do the things they need to do. Jetsu Games servers, I think that's just where the maps are available from. I don't know if that's the game company or not. Maybe someday I'll actually have to read this. But that being said, give me your thoughts on the game so far. Have a good day wherever you are on the planet. I know I've said that already, but I can't wish you that enough. Whether it's light outside or the moon's out, I'll get to making this into a video. Get working real hard on it. Hopefully get it uploaded tonight. And wish you all the best. Take care.